Hello, my friends. How are you? What is going on today? Welcome to the show, The Melting Pat. My name is Pat. We're giving Jerome the day off. Today's episode is going to be different. No music today, no song today. We were waiting on permission, and even if I get it later, I'm not going to have time to put the song in and do the mouth riff and all that. So I like to. If I can't do that, then I'd rather not play the song. I'd rather wait and have the proper time to do it. So. Yeah, we're going to go right in, right out. If you're new to the show, welcome. Thank you for checking me out. Normally we play music, but this week we're not going to do that. But I hosted 4 radio shows back in the day: sports, pro wrestling, music, and pop culture / general chatter. And the Melting Pat, with this show, I mashed them all together into one program. So we cover a lot of ground, generally speaking, and it makes the show very hard to promote, but a hell of a lot of fun to do. So thank you for making me a part of your day, week, night, whatever it is. You can sign up for my Patreon and get some bonus stuff. I was angry today, and I'm going to be angry again still as we're doing this. So patreon.com/themeltingpat, $1, $3, $20, and $100 tiers. Go check that out. Give me some money. Thank you very much. There's also a monthly newsletter. Sign up for that at themeltingpat.com, and all the things, all my socials, all the ways to get in touch with me are up there. All right? This episode's also unique in that I'm not going to do any editing. Because usually I go through with a fine-tooth comb. It takes a long time. But I do not have time this week because I've had a lot go on, and it's still happening, and I'm still super stressed out. So I'm not going to have time to edit. So you're going to get as close to an unfiltered, to joke for one of you, an unfiltered episode as you can get from me. So like if I cough or something, or if I have to pause and take a phone call or whatever, then I'll edit that out. But generally I'm just going to level out the audio and send it right up. No intro, no outro music, none of that. So we're going to do this. I want to say back to my roots, but my roots were live radio. So this is the opposite of all of that. And we're just going to do the thing. So, man, let me just say, patrons got a bonus. So if you want more of this topic, subscribe to the Patreon. Again, $1, $3, $20, $100 a month. Sign up, patreon.com/themeltingpat. You get a bonus. I explained as much of the situation as I'm comfortable explaining. But I just want to say this before we start. My life would be so much less stressful if the people who are paid to do jobs actually did those jobs. I am just so tired, and this is personally, professionally, all of the above. I am just so tired of expecting labor for my money and not getting it. And I'm just so tired of being told there's nothing else I can do because this is how things work. And I'm just so tired of being on the short end of it. And it's frustrating. It's maddening. It's so stressful. So if I seem a little on edge lately, that's why. I am on one this week because I'm just so tired of dealing with the same nonsense over and over again with no recourse. So there you go. If you want more on that, I expanded on it an extra 5 minutes or so of me getting super angry about about that topic specifically. So sign up, patreon.com/themeltingpat. There you go. There's your little, there she goes with his little bonus. Jesus. So that's one reason I'm really stressed out, because it's something I'm dealing with that I literally cannot control, or I'm told I can't control. And the other thing, I'm sorry, I meant to tell you what we're going to talk about today. So we have that little bonus. We'll talk about my return to office in a moment. Yeah, we're going back to the office, and it's dumb. It's just a really dumb schedule too. We're going to talk about pre-sales for Oreos and why I think that's we've lost the plot, I think. We'll talk about that. We will also talk about robot answering services, because I got really mad at one the other day. It sounds silly, but we're going to talk about it. And we will end, I think, on, let's see, WWE is partnered with ESPN, and the new streaming service, and the press release was confusing, and the answers that we got initially were confusing. So we will talk about that. But I think we've learned more, and I think it's actually going to be better than we think for some of us. So I know that's really vague, but I'm also responding to a text. I'm sorry. So anyway, let's get to the show, shall we? Again, thank you for joining me today. This is different. If it's your first one, the show is usually not like this, but we're doing our best with what we have today. Okay? All right, but it's unedited, so that's fun, right? Is that fun? No? All right, we're going to try. We're going to try our best. So, I have to go back to my office soon. I don't know exactly when, but I think I wrote it. I don't know if I mentioned this on the actual show, but I know I mentioned it. It's on the website. So the union agreement with the agency is 4 weeks in the office and then 4 weeks at home on a rotating schedule. So I hate that, first of all, because right now we're going in once a month, and that's even dumb because when I go into the office, okay, listen, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I do for a living because I don't want to do that. But when I go into the office, I get so much less work done than when I'm at home. And I even won an award for excellence from the agency for being so good at my job. And I got a plaque to prove it. And during the period of review for the award, I worked at home every single day. Was not in the office at all in that year, in that review period. And I just don't understand what the obsession is with having us on site. Because all right, we deal with outside clients, let me just say that, but I don't see them ever. In fact, with the advent of online things that they have rolled out in the last 8 years or so, we are actively discouraged from actually seeing clients because they can submit information without having to come see us. So there is literally no reason for any of us back-end workers to be in the office. It makes no sense. It is a waste of resources. It's a waste of time and money for the workers. And they say, oh, it's training and collaboration with your coworkers. Fine. If I'm chatting with my coworkers all day, I'm not getting work done. And the trainings are people reading PowerPoints to us, which can be done over Teams, which has been done over Microsoft Teams for 5 years. And I will never understand the logic of, oh, these back-end workers who don't see clients have to come into the office. What the fuck for? What for? It makes no goddamn sense. I just don't understand why we have to do this. I just don't. Hang on one second. Sorry. I don't know what I just said because I had to pause and I'm not doing other tracks. I don't have time. But it just doesn't make sense. So this 4 weeks in the office, 4 weeks at home starts on September 2nd. The first rotation. I don't know which one I'm on. They haven't told us yet. So we'll find out, I hope, with enough time to figure out scheduling and commuting and all that. But I'll either go back to the office for 4 weeks on September 2nd or September 29th. So I just don't. The official word, by the way, in the email we got from the secretary of the agency or the executive director, whoever the person is, it said, and this is a quote, "This is an effort to strengthen collaboration, operational efficiency, and service delivery." Now, I just told you, when I work in the office, and when this happens for many of us, we don't get as much work done because we're distracted. People are walking by and talking to us. We have to go into meetings. We're being pulled into our managers' or our supervisors' offices for things like that. And it's just wasting time when we could be getting work done. So the operational efficiency and service delivery, that's out. That's not a thing, right? It's not a thing. But apparently, when the executive director, whoever this person was, came to our office or some of the offices, the newer people were complaining that they couldn't work from home. Okay, too fucking bad. There are people who are in our agency. Now that I'm going back before COVID, before telework was a thing for all of us. There are people in our agency who have worked remotely the entire time. And I would ask managers and supervisors like, hey, just generally asking, hey, is there a way that all of us could try working from home? Like, I feel like we don't need to be here if we're just working on a computer and the phone calls are through Skype and now Teams. Like, we don't need to be at a physical office to do this work. If we're not going to see clients, we don't need to be in the office. So is there a shot for any of us, all of us, to work from home? And every different supervisor and manager I asked laughed in my face. And I just don't understand what the deal is. right? Oh, we're paying to rent these buildings. Okay, shut them down, move to a central location, pay for one building, let the people who want to telework, everybody else work in the office. Problem fucking solved. It's not that difficult. I just don't, I guess maybe it is finding the space in the city, but I don't know. It seems to me like they've already closed 2 buildings in the last 3 years. And it just seems to me that if the problem is the expense of the building, find a big enough building to house all of us. There are empty floors at our headquarters building downtown. And split it up that way. You need to come to the office, come to this one location. That's it. That's it. That's all. I just don't. None of these, like this schedule, this 4 weeks in, 4 weeks out, does not strengthen collaboration, efficiency, or service delivery at all. None of this stuff. Look, man, like in my agency, again, collaboration means meetings and trainings, which is listening to someone read a memo or a PowerPoint, or reading parts of it out loud ourselves. So it doesn't help. Do you know what does help with service delivery and operational efficiency? Working from home. I have a plaque with my name on it to prove that from the same person who sent this email about collaboration and service delivery and whatever. It just doesn't, I don't know, man. Plus, okay, so we had a meeting about this last week, staff meeting on Teams, of course. And they're going through like, hey, here's the plan. We don't know the schedules yet, but here's the idea. 4 weeks in, 4 weeks out. Okay. And the district administrator, the boss of our whole office, said, and I quote, "I don't do work when I'm in the office. I'm walking around talking to people all day. When I'm at home, because they monitor the computer, I do my work at home. But when I'm in the office, I don't get work done. I walk around and talk to people all day." That is a direct quote from the boss of our office in a staff meeting to all of us. So do you know what that tells me? One, your job must not be that important if you can get away with literally not doing work several days. Two, you just gave all of us a license to slack off in the office. You just told us, you just gave us permission, I want to say, I was going to say unofficially, but you just gave us permission to slack off in the office because you don't do work in the office all day. You do it at home. Okay, fine. That's what I'm doing. Sure, if I have a list to get done, that'll get done. No problem. Everything else, fuck off. I'll be watching TV. I'll be listening to shows, chatting with my coworkers. You said it. You said it. The boss of the entire office literally said they don't do work on their in-office days. So you're telling me I don't have to do work on my office days. So if there's no list for all those days when I'm in the office, I'm not doing shit. There you go. Somebody emails me and says, hey, can you handle this? Sure. 1 or 2 things. Great. My daily logs of all the things I do are going to be empty. But hey, district boss said they don't do any work. So I feel like if that doesn't apply to me, it shouldn't have been said in a meeting to all of us. So I just don't just the disconnect between, oh, we have to get all this work done. It's about service for the clients. And I don't do work when I'm in the office. That's a huge gap in what you're telling us. And the reasoning that, and I know it wasn't the choice of the district boss to bring everybody in. That goes higher than that person. But do you understand where I'm coming from? Where I just don't understand, first of all, what the point of coming to the office is. Second of all, why, how are you going to enforce, hey, get your work done? Hey, big boss said they don't do work. I feel like that extends to me. If you want me to do it, then have the big boss come down and tell me to get work done when they don't do work when they're in the office. That I just don't, I don't know, man. So it's going to be okay, realistically, we'll figure it out. We'll get everything taken care of. I'll get all my work done. We'll figure out how to, work the commutes and all that. And I'll figure out how to balance what we're doing, but it's going to suck because there's no reason for it to be happening because there's no reason for me and many of us to be working in an office when we can get all the work done and more of it, by the way, in even when I do this, I get more work done. So we get so much more work done at home, many of us. It's going to throw all of us just into chaos for childcare, for money and time commuting, for there may not be space for us at the office because we've absorbed 2 other offices into our building. And so they're taking up the room. And so, okay, you better have space for us. You better have room for us to actually do work, or like what else are we doing here? So they got less than a month to figure it out and make it work, because otherwise they can fuck off. So it's annoying. We'll figure it out. It's going to be annoying. I'm going to be angry. And it's just another thing that's pissing me off that I can't control. That's all. So I just... all right. So I'm going to be watching a lot of TV. So if you got any TV shows you want me to check out so I can put on my phone in the office, let me know. And I'll do my best. But as far as the show goes, I've asked about these before. I need some suggestions for episodes, because now I'm going to have 4 episodes every week that I'm not... Because when I used to do the show before we had the kid, I would record and edit on the same day. Hated that. Took forever. And then I switched up and recorded on like Thursday nights and then edited throughout and got it to Saturday. So I don't have time to do that now, because after work, it's dad time and it's family time and dad time. So what I'm going to do is record a bunch of episodes ahead of time and have 4 episodes in the can for you. So the show is going to change pretty drastically, I would say. Although maybe not. I've done this before. But yeah, if you have suggestions for one topic episodes to record ahead so I can have episodes for you every Saturday. If you want me to do TV episode or movie reviews would take a little longer, but let me know. If there's a topic that you are thinking about, you want me to dive into, we can do that. If you have a question you want me to answer, if you have questions you'd like me to ask and get answers from the rest of you, that would be great. If you see a Reddit post or a tweet or a whatever that you want me to break down, let me know. And I will take what you give me and turn it into ramblings and turn them into episodes. All right. So please let me know. TheMeltingPat.com. All the contact info is there. And we're all in this together. We can make it happen. Okay. I believe in us. So yeah, that's the thing that I'm upset about. And this is a less serious thing that kind of boggled my mind. I was on Facebook, I guess, and I saw an ad for peanut butter Oreos. So Oreo chocolate, black chocolate Oreos, and the filling instead of the regular cream is peanut butter. I'm like, oh, that sounds delicious. So then I look at it and it says, sign up for the pre-sale to know when these Oreos go live. And I feel like we lost the plot. Because first it was, oh, you used to own Adobe software, and now it's $25 a month. All right, so you don't own the software, you own the license, and that's dumb. And then it was, subscriptions for underwear. Hey, ba-doop, boop, boop, MeUndies, ripping off Billy Burr, ba-doop, boop, boop. All right, so then we had that. Like, we don't need a subscription service for underwear. That's stupid. And then it was, this came first. Self-checkout lanes didn't make things cheaper. It just cost people jobs, right? Maybe that's a little unrelated, but still something to complain about. So now, where technology things have advanced to the point where, first of all, a lot of stuff's AI slop and your grandparents are falling for it. And I feel like even members of Congress are falling for it too, because they're stupid, and senators, because they're really dumb. And it's concerning that people who have leadership positions can't recognize AI. Well, first of all, it's a testament to how far AI has come. Second of all, you should know when something is AI. You should kind of figure that out, because, hey, these things don't go together. And anyway, that's a different topic. But so now we have to register for a pre-sale for Oreo cookies. Now, granted, again, they have peanut butter in them, so they're probably super delicious. They're probably awesome. I hope I can try some. They sound great. But why are we signing up for a pre-sale for Oreos? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, what happened to things? Like, what if somebody doesn't have social media and therefore cannot see this link to the pre-sale for these Oreos? So you wouldn't know about it because you're not on social media, and you wouldn't know where to sign up, that you had to sign up in the first place. And so you try to go get the Oreos, and they're gone. Everybody on the pre-sale list already got them, so you don't have them. So what happened to just putting them out in the store, running a commercial on TV or wherever, running the ads wherever? Hey, peanut butter Oreos, limited time. Then you go to the store and you buy them. Why are we having to sign up for I understand limited supply. I get that part of it. I'm not dumb. I'm just confused about the signing up for a pre-sale. And it's not like it's a class where you learn how to make them, or it's, you can sign up and then you can get stock in the company or whatever. No, you're signing up for a pre-sale to buy a pack of cookies. And it doesn't make, I just don't know. I just don't know. So instead of, like, again, if you go back, like, finding it's only on social media from what I've seen. Maybe it's somewhere else. But if someone doesn't have social media and someone is not connected to this part of the internet or the internet at all, really, that seems implausible now. But just go with me. If someone doesn't have social media, because that's a thing, then they presumably would not know about this pre-sale. And they go to the store and they wouldn't have them. They wouldn't get a chance to try them because they didn't sign up for the pre-sale. For cookies! I don't understand. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we so obsessed with registering and subscribing and all this stuff? Why are we doing this? And I know that I already asked you to subscribe to my Patreon and my newsletter. That's different. That's different. First of all, the newsletter, I was going to say it's free. The newsletter's free. You can sign up for free on the Patreon. You don't get much, but you could do that. Like, why are we registered? Like, just make as many as you're going to make. And then put them in the stores and say, hey, we're doing a commercial. Have some billboards, do some ads on podcasts, do a commercial on TV, put some ads on Instagram. Hey, limited time, peanut butter Oreos, Reese's, whatever. Just do that. Just do this. And have them available for everyone. Don't make people do this pre-sale nonsense for a fucking pack of cookies. What are we doing? Why are we so... I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like the cultural shift. And I'm not saying technology is not useful. Of course it is. Of course it's useful. But there are things that... Some things just should be done the old-fashioned way. Maybe that's it. And it feels weird to call the old-fashioned way just putting your product in stores. But that's where we are. It's very strange. I don't understand it. I don't know who made this choice. I don't get it. I don't get it. Another thing that I'm mad about, by the way, good shift there, Pat. Good transition. I know, doing really great today. Robot answering services. Now, I get it. I understand. What I mean by this is when you call a company like your bank, for example, and you don't talk to a person right away, you talk to some robot that says, oh, I can help you. Tell me what your issue is, which would be fine if the robot software understood what I was saying. And so I understand corporations don't want to pay people to work. I get it. I understand it's cheaper to do it this way, but it's not more efficient and it's not good for the customer. So I was going to say consumer and I still wanted to say customer. So that came out as customer. I don't know what happened there, but we're not editing. This is fun. Maybe I should not edit more often. I don't know, man. I think we got to get back to real people answering phones. And I know, Pat, they're going to outsource it. I understand that. But if you're going to outsource, this is it's related but separate but equal. If you're going to if you're going to outsource your call center, which again, cheaper, I get it. I understand why they do it from a business side. It's not great from a customer side, but let's just say they're just going to, okay, so if we get rid of the robot things, which is not going to happen, but let's go with it. They get rid of the robots. They still have the call centers in other countries. I would prefer if the people who work at the call center actually knew what the company policies were. And I don't mean sitting there reading the manuals. I mean people who actually work there and actually are trained and taught what these things mean. Because I had to call my bank the other day because something happened and I was told that it was customer initiated, which is not true. So I called and I said, hey, I'm just wondering why this action was taken. It says like everything that I'm seeing says that I did it and I did not. And so the person said, okay, let me tell you what happened is my savings account closed because I took a bunch of money out of it. And I was usually pretty regular with, depositing money in, but I guess I forgot to do it, whatever. And so my savings account closed. And I was like, oh, I didn't get any real notification. I just logged into the app one day and scrolled down and said, oh, this account is closed. I'm like, well, what the fuck? What does that mean? So, well, I know what it means, but like what happened? And so I go and look, and so I call, and it took me a long time to get through the robot prompt because I was like, speak to an agent. What's your issue? Savings account closed. You want to close an account? No. Hang up, try again. Speak to an agent. And I had to do it like 3 times to finally get this robot to understand I have an account question. Please connect me to someone who can figure it the fuck out. And so just having to sit through menus that aren't responsive and like you have to say very specific words and phrases, otherwise the robot doesn't get it, whereas a person would be able to connect the dots most of the time. So it's like I should not have to spend several minutes and 3 tries trying to convince a robot where to direct my call when I could talk to a person and get mad at them. And I'd rather do that, right? I'd rather have a person not know what they're doing than have to be at the mercy of some shitty software. So I just like bring back the switchboards. I don't know how it would work, but just bring back the people who actually work and know about common issues, and let me talk to people when I call phone numbers. And so anyway, let me finish the rest of this. So it's about robot things, so we finished that part, but let me finish the rest of the story because I feel a little bad. But so I finally get a hold of somebody, and I'm like, hey, this thing says my savings account closed, and it says that I did it, and I did not do that. So I'm just wondering what happened. And so the guy says, well, or they, whatever, they said, well, it says it was customer initiated, and it says because it was paid off that it closed. And I said, okay, roll with me here, man. What you said doesn't make any sense because I've told you, number one, that I did not initiate this, so that's wrong. And number two, it's not a bill or a loan to be paid off. It's a savings account where I deposit money. So what you're saying does not make sense. And he's like, oh, that's just what the system says. I'm like, all right, man, can you please transfer me to someone who can figure this out for me? And I was so mad because I had to deal with a robot, and then this guy told me some shit that made no sense. So I did snap at him, and I did feel a little bit bad. So I finally get to a supervisor after like 25 minutes of on hold and back and forth and all this. Maybe the whole call took like 30 minutes or whatever, but it was just a huge pain in the ass. And the supervisor person was like, okay, well, yeah, if it doesn't have any deposits within so many days, then it automatically closes. And I'm like, okay, like that's probably in writing somewhere, so that's on me. But I would have appreciated some kind of notice like, hey, we're going to close your account, or hey, make sure you're depositing money or whatever. And I would have done that. I would have put in a fucking $1 and we would have been okay. And instead, I had to waste a half hour of my day getting through robot menus and someone who doesn't know what they're talking about to finally get to you, who could, I didn't say this all to the person, but to finally get to somebody who knew what the issue was and could tell me what to do. And so it's just so the robot thing. And so we need to bring back people who are answering phones and have those people actually know at least very common issues with the company so they can answer basic questions before having to transfer. So maybe they can resolve it at step 1 instead of step 2 to the supervisor or whoever. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't understand what the fucking problem is with, I mean, I do understand it. It's corporations not wanting to pay money, but I'm just tired of dealing with stuff that I can't control. I'm just really tired of having to deal with nonsense and not being able to actually figure it out. Not being able to actually fix it on the first or second try. I just don't, because the first try, like, oh, you got to explain it. Oh, we got to figure out what to do. All right. But then the second try, you should have it unless you suck at your job. So I'm just upset. That's all. But we have one more thing. Let's do one more. So I saw this the other day, or yesterday, I suppose. Well, the other day for you. WWE has entered a partnership with ESPN, and their premium live events, they used to be called pay-per-views. I guess they're still available on pay-per-view, but if you pay, $5 for Peacock, you can get it with ads, but you can get it and don't have to pay $60 for the pay-per-view. So now those events will be available on ESPN. Now, ESPN is launching a new service, a new digital service in the fall, I think. And no specific date has been announced. But they're launching a new service. So you can have ESPN and ESPN2 and access to other sports things. I remember like last year, or I don't know, maybe the year before, I don't remember. But it was a thing where it was going to be ESPN and Fox Sports and some other sports network were going to combine to one streaming service. And then that fell through. So now ESPN's doing it on their own, doing it themselves. And it's $30 a month. But okay, so the first thing was about this press release. ESPN will be the home of premium live events starting in 2026. Okay. The second thing was the ESPN service is $30 a month. Okay. So now instead of paying, again, working with the information that we have. Previously on X-Men, you paid $5 for Peacock per month. It's going up to 10, but still. You paid $5 to $10 a month, or if you had the premium, like 13 or 14 per month. And you got all the Peacock stuff, Olympics, all their shows and movies and all that. And you got access to most of the WWE library and the premium live events. So that's pretty cool. $5, $10, $12 a month, pretty cool. So now, as we understood it at the time, that price to get that information, to get all that, all those shows and whatnot from WWE was going to jump from $5 to $30 per month. That was what we knew. So then they came out and said, hey, well, wait a minute. If you have a TV service, whether you have cable, whether you have Hulu Live, whether you have YouTube TV, or another service like that, then this ESPN app is available through that. So you sign in through your TV provider, you authenticate the app, and then you have access to all the ESPN stuff. And so that would have been good to know up front. And finally, I guess, their president, what's his name, Nick Khan, announced, this is the WWE president, by the way, announced the pay-per-views, the premium live events would be available at no extra cost. And that was a worry because I had ESPN Plus for a little bit. And I don't like UFC. I don't watch it. It's not for me. But I kept seeing like, oh, ESPN Plus, here's the UFC event today or tomorrow, whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, I have that service and it's exclusively on ESPN Plus. It was at the time. And so I said, okay, I have the service. I should be able to watch this show. So I go, boot up the app and I'm like, oh, let's check out UFC. And it says that the event is available for $69.99 plus tax. So in order to watch these events at the time, I don't know if it's changed. I don't have ESPN Plus anymore. But in order to watch these events, you had to subscribe to ESPN Plus for whatever it is per month, whatever it was, and pay full price. That is nonsense. So that was my first thought when I saw, oh, they're going to ESPN. Cool. So you pay for the service and you'd probably still have to pay for the separate event because that's what corporations do. They take all the money, right? They want to take more of your money. So that was upsetting. But then we learned, we read some more and more information was disseminated that if you have a TV provider, which I do, so if I wanted to watch this new ESPN app, I can do that. It's all included as far as we know. For now, anyway. Everything starts out cheap or free, and then they're like, hey, people will pay for this, right? And then that's how they get you. Like Netflix used to be free with ads. Hulu used to be free with ads. Peacock, I believe, also used to be free with ads. And then they said, all right, $8 a month or whatever, and you still have ads. And we've complained about that before, so then what am I paying you for? So there you go. Anyway, yeah, so I really feel like the press release should have been more informative. It should have been like, hey, ESPN is going to have all of our premium live events starting in 2026. If you have a TV provider, you can have the new ESPN app. If you don't, it's $30 a month. Also, pay-per-views or premium live events will be at no extra cost. Like that should have been mentioned straight away so we don't have 15 threads on Reddit and a bunch of social media videos going, why are they charging so much money? Which, like, yeah, they shouldn't charge so much money. But it's just so, like, the dissemination of the information could have been handled way better, and you would think that a billion-dollar company, or does TKO lose money? I don't know, but you would think that a multi-million-dollar company, how about that? Let's at least get there, would know how to release information to the press. I would feel like they've had plenty of experience and would know what to do and what not to do. So apparently they don't, or maybe maybe I'm willing to admit this. Maybe I just read the wrong thing first, and I was fed through my algorithm the stuff that they wanted me to see, the rage bait, if you will. So I would post about it, and so I would say, "Hey, da da da," right, and I would be like, bah, 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 bah. "There you go, Jason." Maybe that was it. Maybe that was their plan all along. I don't know, but and then this convoluted mess of announcing the streaming service partnership was just a whole thing of like, all right, maybe these people don't actually know how to run a company. Like, maybe that's too strong. Maybe these people don't know how to handle all this business that they're being tasked with handling. Like, maybe they don't know, and somebody's paying them a lot of money to screw it up. And it all comes full circle. So yeah, there's going to be a new streaming service for ESPN. I wonder if ESPN is going to ditch from cable networks entirely and just be on this streaming service. So like, you have to, instead of having ESPN on your channel lineup, you have to log into this other app using your TV provider credentials, and that's the only way you can watch ESPN. I think that's going to be the move, right? That would have to be. Why else would they do this? And if you don't have TV service, it's $30 a month for ESPN and all the things that come with ESPN. So yeah, it's a lot of money for if a WWE fan doesn't have a cable TV service or a live TV service, then it's another $30 a month, as opposed to the $10 they were paying to watch the $5 or $10 they were paying to watch the premium live events. And now you got to pay more. And if you want to watch Raw, you have to pay for Netflix. And I mean, yes, you can sail the 7 seas, as they say, but if you want to do it the right way, you got to pay for Netflix and soon ESPN, currently Peacock. And I guess you would have to have a TV service to watch SmackDown and NXT if you want to watch those, because they're only on Fox and the CW respectively. Unless, I don't know if NXT shows up on the CW app, I'm not sure. But yeah, so you'd have to spend, that's 3 separate subscription services to watch all the things you want to watch if you want to watch WWE stuff. And that just seems like a lot, man. Seems like a lot. It's less than I thought, because like, I have YouTube TV, so if I wanted to watch these, I can just log into this new app, I guess, and figure it out. But a lot of people don't, and I just think that trying to squeeze all the money out of your people is obviously what the corporation is going to do. But you're going to turn away a lot of fans here. There you go. So this streaming service. So we're going to do a little editing, I guess. Streaming service. Just look, if you're disseminating information, can you please be clear and concise from the jump? So we don't have to go, well, what about this? And then, oh yeah, there's this. And people are already mad and creating their videos. I don't know, man. So new streaming service, ESPN in the fall. And WWE premium live events will be available there. There you go. That's what we wanted to say. We'll cut some stuff out, I guess. But that's it. That is all for the show today. I got to go do some stuff. Yeah, I was on one today. It was a thing. There's some things happen. Things are happening and just stuff that I can't control and makes me upset. You know what else is making me upset? I keep getting interrupted when I'm trying to make this goddamn show. I said I wasn't going to do separate tracks, and now there are 5. And so now I got to it'll take a couple minutes to splice them all together. But we're just going to end the show. I don't know. I'm going to cut some stuff out probably. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so you might actually hear a coin. So one sound effect you might hear today. Everything else is just going to be me, and we're going to go. All right? So we covered a lot of ground. Sign up for the Patreon. Sign up for the newsletter. Or just go to the website, themeltingpat.com. All of the information you need to learn about me and what this show is and what I do is there. Reach out. Let me know what's what. Give me some ideas for one topic episodes, because I'm going to need them. I'm going to need 4 at a time here. So let me know what's what. Okay? All right. We'll talk soon. This has been an 8 Boiling production. Until next time, my friends, have fun. Be safe. Thank a veteran. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Get vaccinated and boosted when you can. Tip your wait staff. And, of course, don't do anything I wouldn't do. That is all. Thank you for being here. I love you so much. We'll talk soon. I hope. Go crap open a cold one.